Hello, everyone. It's Tuesday. I think it's Tuesday. It's another edition of Travel the World as a Speaker, and I'm so excited to be with you. I am your host, Phylecia Jones, and today we're going to talk about self-care as a speaker. This is something that a lot of us speakers tend to forget. Hey, Carla Gregg, how you doing? We're going to talk about self-care because it is so important as a speaker when it comes to giving yourself a break with all of the work that you have to do. So we're going to talk about that. Also, we're going to do the two things that I love, and that is talking about travel and speaking at the same time and leveraging speaking so that you can travel the world. Now, I think so far we've been talking about weather. When it comes to the travel story. So we're going to keep talking about weather. Maybe I'll just do this as a theme. Hey, Annette, how you doing? So for those of you tuning in, I'm coming to you live here on YouTube. Hey, YouTube. And here on Instagram. So you can catch us at iFind You Clothes. And the show is brought to you by iFindYouClothes.com, where every Monday we post a new batch of speaking opportunities for those who want to market their business, get on stage, and do all of the things when it comes to speaking. So if you are looking for more speaking opportunities in your life, go check us out at iFindYouClothes.com. And with today, let's talk about the weather. Now, yesterday I was asking you, like, have you ever been anywhere, where the weather completely ruined your trip? And I told you about Montreal and how I thought it was going to be cute, and then it got really cold. Now, the other side is that when it got too hot, I went to Milan one year, and it was probably one of the hottest summers on record in the European Union or in Europe. It was so hot. It was like 108. I mean, it was so hot you couldn't even think. And we had friends who rented a house in Corsica. So we eventually all met up in Corsica. We went to Milan. It was hot. And eventually we had to get over to Corsica. And the house that she rented didn't have AC. Oh, it didn't have AC, and everybody, you know how everybody wants to jockey for the nice rooms in a house, in a rental house. So everybody wanted the big house, with the rooms in the big house. And so, and this house had like two little cabins, like in the yard. So it was kind of neat. And it was two cabins facing the water. And, so we were like, oh man, we thought it was going to suck because we weren't going to be in the house, like with the kitchen and everything. So we took one of the cabins. Turns out it was the best thing we ever did because the house was old school concrete, no circulation, no fans. They were dying in the house. And the cabin that we had, so it didn't have AC, but we had fans, but it was like these big doors or something. It just opened out and faced, it wasn't the ocean. Where am I? It faced the sea. We'll just say the sea. And we had nighttime breezes. We had to watch out for mosquitoes, but I didn't get killed too bad by mosquitoes. But oh my gosh, that was like the hottest it has ever been when I've been on a trip. I've never been so hot before in my life. It was crazy how hot it was. I mean, it was so hot. I think we all just like sat in the pool for like 4 days. Because we couldn't drive. It was too hot. All right, so enough of the travel story. So hopefully you don't have any future travels where it's so hot that you can't even enjoy yourself. I mean, it was like so hot you couldn't even think. That's how hot it was. It was like that kind of hot. Like, just leave me in the pool all day. Yeah, it was so hot. Anyway, having flashbacks. But because right now it is not hot here in Colorado. It is cold. It was snowing yesterday. Yeah, I can't make this stuff up even if I tried. All right, so let's go ahead and get into the topic when it comes to self-care. Now, if you have any questions about anything, please put them in the comment box here on Instagram or YouTube. But one of the things I want to jump in today and just talk about is you have to take care of yourself as a speaker. There are a couple of things that are so important, especially when you are starting to travel the world as a speaker. You're starting to travel your neighborhoods, your community as a speaker, your body, and your voice. Now, I get hit by allergies, so I am always like having issues with my voice. But it is one of the most important things you have to take care of. And you have to take care of your body as well, and not just like looking good, but making sure that you are in the optimal shape to go do what you do. Because as much as I love all of the speaking, as much as I love all of the travel, it can hurt after a while. Meaning, you can get exhausted when you're not expecting it. Your body can just stop working on you. So you have to start incorporating all of these things in. And then plus, you're also running a business at the same time. And if for any of you who are business owners, you know what this is like. You are grinding so hard that you will burn out. So here's a couple of things that I recommend. Self-care is not a buzzword. It's something that you actually need to do. Take a break. Seriously, take a break. Now, the problem is we get on the internets, on the interwebs, and people are telling us that if we take a break that we're going to be losers. You need to take a break. Not everybody is meant to work so hard that they fall down. And I'm telling you, I know a lot of professional speakers. I know a lot of people in business. They work so hard, they can't even function after a while. Don't end up like that. Being a business owner is not supposed to kill you. It really isn't. At least I don't think it's supposed to be. Annette is saying, I'm so looking forward to travel and combining my movement interests with speaking. Yes, Annette, excited for you for that one. But you're not supposed to just fall down and be sick all the time. This is not what this is about. At least for me. Now, if some of you have that grind and can keep going, I know a lot of folks, they keep going, but even still, you have to figure out a way to take a break. So please take a break. One of the things that I am starting to institute in my business is 3 weeks on, 1 week off. 3 weeks, I will work my butt off, do all the things, and 1 week, I'm just going to take a break. Now, I know for some people that may seem like I'm not doing any work, but I'm learning coming out of the pandemic, I need to give myself some breaks because before I was one of those, I could go for a good 90 days and I knew like clockwork when I was going to fall apart. And that's why I said you got to start figuring out your work schedule, not just take a break one day and pretend to take a break. No, straight up take a break. Rent an Airbnb for a couple of days. Stop doing what you're doing because you need to be the freshest, most revived person possible so that you can bring your A game. And the other thing that happened to me, like when I backed all of my speaking gigs back to back, I think I had 10 within a 3-week period in 2 different countries and 3 different parts of the United States. Yeah, I was literally falling on the ground trying to take care of myself because it was just that exhausting. You don't have to exhaust yourself. You don't have to do this. So the first thing is remember, self-care is not a buzzword. It's something that you actually need to do. Number 2, why don't you take a break? It is okay. The third thing I will say is look at your schedule, figure out what is going to work for you. If you know that after 60 days of working hard that you're going to fall apart, schedule everything that way so that you work hard for 60 days, take 30 days off. Or if you're like me coming out of this pandemic, realizing that I just can't go every day. So I'm on a 3 weeks on, 1 week off. And it's literally 1 week of doing something else. I don't know what number I'm on. So I think I'm on number 3. So I'll say number 4, find a hobby. Seriously, find a hobby. You need something else to take your brain away. And being on social media is not a hobby. Make sure you find a hobby, something else that'll get you just as excited and get you just as focused so that when you take a week, you're still being productive on something that is fun for you. Annette was saying I did a lot pre-pandemic. Yeah, I did quite a bit pre-pandemic. I was looking at our schedule, all of the travel we did in 2019. I don't even know how I made it, just being honest. I don't know how I made it. So I'm just letting you know, as somebody who has been on that side of, all of the excitement of the travel, but also just experiencing extreme burnout, it's kind of not worth it. And the problem is the burnout will come when you don't need it to come. Having burnout right before you do a TEDx talk is not sexy. So make sure you do all of these things. And the final thing I will say is plan a vacation. If you know you are about to walk into a season that is going to try you so hard, make sure you plan a vacation out of it. My dear sweet friend, Andrea Jack, she is an accountant. She's been doing it for about 20 years. And so after every tax season, I think whatever her tax season, it starts March or February up until May. She takes 2 weeks and she goes to an island and does nothing so that she can come back refreshed. Like, it is on the calendar. Like, it's a non-negotiable thing to take a vacation. I've actually started doing that last year, not so much, not last year, but a couple of years ago. And because I used to think that I'll just take a vacation while I'm on the speaking gig, it doesn't work the same. One of the things I knew coming out of 2019, when I had like a whole bunch of gigs back to back, I knew I needed to go on vacation. I knew it. So I paid a friend to go look at all of my travel points, and I just told her to book me somewhere with a beach. And we went to Costa Rica for 9 days, and that was probably exactly what I needed. I needed 2 days of a good sleep and just pure straight relaxation. So I will say the final thing that you should do is plan a vacation, plan a break, like a real vacation, not like going to see your parents. Like, go somewhere so that you can get away from everything, so that you could just take a moment to figure out where you are and get your energy back. Because all of this takes energy. Finding gigs takes energy. Pitching gigs takes energy. Showing up and going back and forth with the follow-up to get a gig takes energy. Getting on stage takes energy. Practicing takes energy. Traveling to all these things takes energy, along with you having to run a business, run your life, take care of your family, pay the bills. That's a lot, y'all. That's a lot. So you got to start taking care of yourself. Annette is saying self-care for me too is being mindful of weather. As much as I want to speak as much as possible, I am not submitting to places that have events in the winter for the most part. Yeah, you got to do what works for you. Now, I don't mind places in the winter time, especially if it's somewhere I want to go. Like, I wouldn't mind going to Zurich in the winter, but it has to be around Christmas because I want to see Christmas lights. I like the Christmas lights. But no, I don't mind the winter spots. Especially if they're paying. I mean, let's just be straight up honest. I could suffer and wear my cute boots for when it's cold. But yeah, you got to figure out where you can go. If you don't want to do winter, some people don't like to do hot places. You got to find what works for you. But at the end of the day, it really is about timing, energy, and how you're taking care of yourself. Because you don't want to work so hard that you don't want to do the business anymore. And that's where I think a lot of business owners end up. You work so hard for so many years that you just have this general burnout from all of this. And I will tell you that, all the work that I've done up until 2020, I still did my first live event in 2020, and then coming up to the pandemic and trying to do all the things, I just realized I just got tired. And it's okay to admit when you're tired. Nobody is going to, I'm not going to call you a loser for taking care of yourself, because if you don't take care of yourself, who is? And what's the point when you're doing all this work and you're not going to be around to take advantage of it? So please be sure to take care of yourself. Incorporate self-care as a speaker. The most valuable things you have are your mind, your voice, and your body. Take care of it, please. Because it ain't worth it if it ain't working. Just saying. If you have any questions about anything, make sure you put it in the comment box. Of course, if you are looking for speaking opportunities, come join us over at iFindYouClose.com. I will be around here tomorrow, so I appreciate you for being here. Thank you, everybody on Instagram. Yes, Instagram, I want to end my video. I know, sometimes I have to talk to it. And for those of you here on YouTube, Annette, thank you so very much. Have an amazing evening. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.